Hi, friends. Welcome back to Stay Anchored Kids. Last time, we learned about Jacob's growing family and how God was building the nation of Israel through his 12 sons. Today, Jacob is about to face something he has been avoiding for a very long time. His brother Esau. Remember Esau? Years earlier, Jacob had tricked their father Isaac and received the blessing that Esau expected to receive. Esau was furious. In fact, Jacob had to run away because he was afraid of what Esau might do. Now 20 years had passed. 20 years! That's longer than many of our parents have been adults. And now God was leading Jacob back home. But Jacob was terrified. What if Esau was still angry? What if he wanted revenge? What if he refused to forgive him? As Jacob traveled, he learned that Esau was coming to meet him. And Esau wasn't alone. He was bringing 400 men with him. 400! Jacob immediately became afraid. He thought this could be really bad. So Jacob prayed. One of the things we see happening in Jacob's life is that he's beginning to depend on God more and more. Instead of relying on tricks and schemes, he's learning to trust. That night, something very mysterious happened. Jacob was alone, and a man appeared and began wrestling with him. Not for a few minutes, not for an hour. They wrestled all night long. Now, this was no ordinary man. As the story continues, it becomes clear that Jacob was having a unique encounter with God. As morning approached, the man touched Jacob's hip, and immediately Jacob was injured.
Ouch!
Yet Jacob refused to let go. He said, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." Then the man asked, "What is your name?" "Jacob," he replied. Now remember, the name Jacob can mean heel grabber or deceiver. It reminds people of how Jacob had lived much of his life. But then something amazing happened. The man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel." Israel means something like he struggles with God or God prevails. This wasn't just a new name. It was a picture of a changed life. God was transforming Jacob. The deceiver was becoming a man who trusted God. When the encounter ended, Jacob named the place Peniel, which means face of God. And though he walked away with a limp, he also walked away with a deeper faith. Now, here's today's big question. Why does God sometimes allow us to struggle? Because struggle can help us grow. Think about exercising. Muscles become stronger through resistance. In a similar way, our faith often grows during difficult seasons. God wasn't trying to hurt Jacob. He was changing him, teaching him, preparing him. And sometimes God uses challenges in our lives to help us depend on him more deeply too. Now, some people ask, did Jacob literally wrestle with God? This was a unique event in the Bible, and many Christians believe Jacob experienced a special appearance of God in human form. The important lesson is that Jacob's encounter changed him forever. And that's what happens when people truly encounter God. They don't stay the same. Before we finish today, remember this truth. God cares more about who we are becoming than simply making our lives easy. He was shaping Jacob's character, and he is shaping ours too. All right, friends, thanks for joining me today. Tomorrow, we're going to see what happens when Jacob finally comes face to face with Esau after 20 years apart. Will Esau still be angry? Or will something surprising happen? Before you go, here's today's challenge. Think about this question or ask your parents. Can you remember a difficult situation that helped you grow stronger or wiser? And let's finish with a quick prayer. God, thank you for loving us enough to help us grow. Even when life is difficult, help us trust that you are working in us and making us more like the people you want us to be. Amen. See you next time, friends.